Well, it was another okay day, I will say. If some rainfall fell in my town this morning, but after that, rainfall was pretty much done with over here. Now, obviously, I know everywhere else that wasn't really the case, but rainfall was done really in my area this morning, and it didn't really fall afterwards. Now, in terms of what we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to talk about our mostly dry conditions tonight with a weak cold front moving through, stray showers possible. Elevated fire weather concerns tomorrow as very dry air moves in and maybe some breezy conditions. Dry conditions dominate Friday through the weekend, and then a strong warming trend this weekend into early next week with maybe some 90s coming along. So if you have not hit the like button yet, go ahead and do so. Also, hit the subscribe button. We are at 700, no, yes, 733, trying to get to that main goal of 800. 733, trying to get to the main goal. We are 67 away from that main goal. So let's see what's going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina. Well, right now, it looks nice and dry. We're not looking at any sort of rainfall right now throughout the state of South Carolina. But if we scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we do, in fact, have some activity going on. We have some rainfall going on over here in Virginia, throughout the mid-Atlantic, throughout the Northeast. We have rainfall through here. We also do have some rainfall going on throughout Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, the Four Corners area, Florida getting in on some rainfall. We also do have some rainfall over here in Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming having some of that rainfall and some severe thunderstorm activity in Montana right now as we speak. Now, if we go in and look at our cloud cover right now seems to be okay. I see we have some in the low country, maybe a little bit in the Grand Strand area, but it's definitely nice and clear for the majority of us as we go into tonight. Now, for our cloud cover for the future, we go in and push this forward right here, and we start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. We push this through, and watch as we get into tonight. That cold front's going to come through, and it's going to bring in some cloud cover with it. Going to bring in some cloud cover. And then as we go into later tomorrow morning, here's 6 o'clock in the morning, here's 8 o'clock in the morning here, and that cloud cover is trying to move throughout the Midlands, move throughout the PD areas a little bit. And then by the time we get to around 11 o'clock in the morning, that cloud cover is really trying to get out at that time. And watch as we go throughout the rest of tomorrow. I mean, right here, this is around 2 o'clock p.m. This is 5 o'clock p.m. right here. I mean, just nice, dry conditions. Nice, clear conditions, I should say, as we go into tomorrow. So tomorrow should be a pretty nice day. Friday, we go into Friday morning here. Friday morning looks pretty good as well, even as we go into the afternoon. It's not looking like too much cloud cover is expected. So Thursday, Friday, nice, clear conditions. Now, for our current temperatures right now, we're talking about around a good 70 in Somerville, 71 Charleston, 72 Beaufort, as well as 68 in Orangeburg, 68 Sumter, 67 in Conway, 69 Murray's Inland and Myrtle Beach, as well as 67 in Newberry, 67 in Lawrence, and 68 in Greenville, 66 in Gaffney, York, Rock Hill, 69 in Clemson. Now, for our air quality, we are looking pretty good right now. We do have some moderate activity from Columbia down over into the southern Midlands, also inside of the upstate near Spartanburg, Augusta. We have some areas over here with a moderate area of air quality. And so it looks like that we mostly are inside that good category, but a couple of us are moderate. Now, for our low temperatures for tonight, we're talking about 55 in Greenville, 56 Spartanburg, as well as 60 in Columbia, 60 Sumter, 59 in Camden, 59 Florence, and 58 also inside of Kingstree, 60 Georgetown, 64 in Charleston, 66 in Hilton Head Island, and 58 in Barnwell, 59 inside of Aiken. High temperatures for tomorrow, we have around 74 Spartanburg, 74 Rock Hill, 80 Columbia, as well as 81 in Orangeburg, Walterboro, 80 Moncks Corner, 82 in Charleston, 80 in Georgetown, and 76 in Myrtle Beach, 84 Hilton Head Island. Now, what about for our rainfall? Rainfall is possible. You see around 1/100 of an inch to 1/10 of an inch right there in Spartanburg, but after that, I don't see anything else for the next 24 hours rainfall-wise, and honestly, I don't see anything even like up there near Spartanburg. I don't see anything up there either. Now, I guess you could count in the cold front coming through, but once that's out the way, I just showed you that cloud cover. Cloud cover is going to be non-existent as we go throughout tomorrow and Friday. SPC outlook, Tonight, technically, thunderstorms are still there, but you know what they like to do? They like to go on and update it as soon as I start, and it seems like they have not updated it quite yet, actually, so we're good. I guess because we're kind of early. But they still had that risk for thunderstorms up there, coastal areas going into the Grand Strand areas, also in the very, very far upstate. But I probably would assume that in the next update, that thunderstorm risk is going to be gone. But we'll see what happens here. Tomorrow, no thunderstorms are expected. Friday, no thunderstorms are expected. Fire weather, we're not seeing anything there. Excessive rainfall, nothing here. And then as we go into the crazy score, if you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how active our conditions are throughout the entire state of South Carolina. And right now we're at a 12. We are at a 12. Why? Well, mainly because, number one, cloud cover is starting to leave us. That's the first thing. Second thing, rainfall is definitely not going to impact us as much. It's going to be mostly dry. Then we're also going to see nice calm winds as before the cold front. Now, once the cold front moves through, it may try to increase a little bit. But for right now, definitely going to be calm before the cold front moves through. So overall, just a nice night overall tonight. Definitely nothing to worry about. So let's go and look at the models. We're going to start off here at around 9 o'clock p.m. And as we go in and push this forward all the way through into tonight, there goes that little stray shower activity that's trying to move throughout the upstate a little bit. Watch as we get into around 12 o'clock in the morning. Going into around 3 o'clock in the morning all the way to 5 a.m., you can see some shower activity. Seems like it's going throughout the upstate, and you can kind of follow that cold front as it continues its way east all the way through into the Midlands. And then as we move through into Thursday, going into Thursday night, going into Friday, nice and dry conditions all the way through to Friday afternoon. So, like I said, once we get through tonight, maybe early tomorrow morning, that shower chance is going to be gone. Maybe, like I said, maybe if you try to go throughout like the 8, 9 o'clock a.m. time frame, you may see like a little drizzle, but honestly, I don't really see that happening too much. Now, if we go on and look at the dew points real quick, so we can just go on and look at this cold front and see what it looks like. We go on right here around 9 o'clock p.m. And just as we push it forward, you can see as we progress throughout this time frame, how that cold front will increasingly try to move its way through, bringing in drier conditions as we go into Thursday, going into Friday. And you can see how it increasingly moves through as we go throughout the next 48 hours, bringing that drier air with it. So let's go on now and take a look at our long-term future. So we're going to start off here at around Friday or so, at around 2 o'clock p.m., 5 o'clock p.m. or so. And nice dry conditions. Nice dry conditions going into Sunday. And then finally, once you go into around 8 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, going into 11 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, you have rainfall activity that tries to get its way through all the way into the weekend. Rainfall activity tries to move its way through all the way into the weekend. Now, or did I say air quality or did I say rainfall? I hope I said rainfall because I looked at the chat and I saw air quality, and I'm not quite sure what I just said. But if I accidentally said air quality, I meant to say rainfall. Rainfall tries to move its way through as we get into Sunday, though. But before that, we don't really see too much in terms of rainfall activity. Now, as we get into the next week, rainfall activity does continue to kind of just sprinkle around the state here and there. But again, all the way through Tuesday, going into Wednesday, we have some more rainfall trying to move its way through. And this could be some beneficial one. Watch as we go into midweek next week for some beneficial rainfall for us over here. We desperately need the rainfall. As much rainfall as we can receive, obviously we'll take it. Now watch as we go into Thursday, going into Friday still. Beneficial rainfall. I mean, once we get to Wednesday of next week, it looks like that it's going to be a very good time for the drought because, or honestly, I guess you could kind of say a really bad time for the drought because this rainfall is going to be trying to kick through. Now, as we get all the way through into the weekend, next weekend, Going into Sunday, Monday of the week after next week, things definitely try to calm down a lot. But rainfall is definitely going to stop once we get into tonight. Going to continue maybe a little bit on Sunday, but then watch as we get into Monday, Tuesday, nice and dry. Wednesday comes along, and then as we go throughout the rest of that week, rainfall city, until finally we get into the week after next week. Now, as we go in and look at our totals, this is from the GEFS. The GEFS for the next 300, 400 hours or so has us around 1.5 inches, maybe even close to 2 inches in terms of this rainfall activity right here. And so we are going to, have to watch for this, see what happens here. But for the European model was kind of on the higher side as well. European model kind of had us around like 1.5 inches, maybe even close to 2 inches or so as we go into tonight. Well, not tonight, but throughout the next 300 to 400 hours or so. So the European one, definitely the greater one here, definitely the one that we want to see happen. Definitely the one we want to see happen. Because if we get, obviously, the more rainfall, the better. So let's go on now and take a look at our temperature. So we're going to start off here at the 9-hour mark. And make sure we go in and get the actual temperatures loaded up as well. But watch as we go into tonight, going into the future, really for this week, cooler temperatures really decide to take over, even as we get into Saturday. Now watch as we go into Sunday, going into Monday, we start to see some more warming temperatures starting to take place here. And watch as we get into the week next week, warmer temperature city. We talked about this last night, and I said that these warmer temperatures right here are going to be nice. And I said that if you are a 90s person, no, I'm not talking about the year 90s, 1990s, I'm talking about the temperatures, then you definitely will like next week. Even if we go into Wednesday, going into Thursday, Friday, you will see some cooler air infiltration as we go throughout this week. Also next week, maybe even the week after. But warmer air seems to be the more dominating factor. Now, even as you go all the way through into Thursday, I mean, look at this, 14, 15 degrees above average. 20 degrees above average as we try and get into the week after next week. So, a lot of good things here if you are a person who loves the heat. Now, in terms of our actual temperatures, obviously, far out, but watch as we go into tomorrow. We're seeing 70s, 80s. We go into Friday. We see some more 80s. Going into Saturday, 89, close to 90 as we go into this weekend. And then watch as we go into Sunday, around 89, 90 again. Monday, more 90s come along. Tuesday, 91. Wednesday, we get to around 85, 87 or so. Thursday, up to the 90s again. I mean, just overall, a nice week next week. Nice hot week next week. And even as we go into the weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, we're still going to be seeing those temperatures trying to get up into the 80s and 90s. Now, if we go in and look at the actual GEFS, the ensembles here, the GEFS here kind of has us more near the 200-hour mark right here. If we go in and push this forward, we have some more temperatures that try to rise up into the 70s, more up into the 80s, and then trying to get us up into the 90s as well. We get up to around 85 Monday, May the 25th. We go into Tuesday, you see 80s again. Wednesday, you see 80s once again. So it's continuing to stay up, even for the ensembles. The ensembles try to get us more inside of those higher 80s as well, which is a good sign. That is definitely a good sign if you want to see those higher temperatures coming through, because these are just averages. If the ensembles are saying it, and they're already up to around 85 or so, that's high confidence that those temperatures will be very, very warm. But that's pretty much all I have to say here in terms of the long-term future. Nothing in terms of the drought. No earthquakes happened today. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with... right here. Starting off with my Aunt Lulu was here first tonight. Says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Today in Georgetown, we had a great day. Today's high was around 74. We had a very little hit and miss shower. Currently, it's around 66 degrees. Then Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. My Nana says, hello, Jay and all. Hello to you. Not a bad day after all. Dad says, good evening, Joseph in the 360 weather family. I trust all is well. It was quite a humid day today in San Antonio. We enjoyed a high of around 90 degrees. We also have an air quality alert at the moment. Hopefully that will move along soon. Air quality is moderate, sitting at around 97. Earlier, we had an air quality of 119. So, yeah, we talked about that last night. I'm not quite sure if you were there last night or not, but I did mention that over there. San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, those areas have an air quality alert out. So, told you last night to be careful for it, just in case. Charles says, wonderful Wednesday evening. Well, same to you. And then my Aunt Lewis says, I was hoping we would get more rain than we did. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I hope that we did as well. And speaking of, let's go in and check and see what happened at my house today. Well, current temperatures right now are around 68. High temperatures were around 78. So 68 currently, 78 being the high, and we got around 0.02 inches of rainfall. So around 0.02 inches of rainfall as we go into tonight. No, not tonight, but just for today in general. And so that's pretty much all I have to say here in terms of the chat. I don't see anything else here for me. So we're going to go on real quick. And do our question of the night for tonight. Question of the night for tonight. I've not seen Mr. Chris here, so if he is not here, we have the potentially have a new winner tonight for the top fans of the night. So let's go on real quick and check and see the main question that I'm going to ask. And honestly, I'm thinking about two right now. Thinking about two good questions real quick. But I think I'm going to ask this one real quick. Because we have not, I just want to make sure that people are paying attention. To the forecast, obviously. And so the question for today is, what was the crazy score? What was the crazy score for today? If you can answer that, I will go on and give you top fan of the night for tonight. But what was the crazy score for today? Or tonight, I guess you should say. Whoever gets it first, top fan of the night for tonight. But while they're going on and answering that, let's go on now and take a look at the 4 areas outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 areas. What am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. And because we have people who tune in almost nightly, we can go on and give them their weather forecast for them. So we're going to start off here with San Antonio. Low temperatures tonight, 67. High temperature for tomorrow at around 91. Low temperatures tomorrow night, 69. Now, in terms of rainfall is not expected at this time for you. You're going to be nice and dry. In fact, your next chance of rainfall will be Sunday night. 20% chance of rainfall there. It will be breezy for you, though. Wind gusts is up to around 20, 25, 30 miles an hour as you go throughout the next, honestly, I'd say throughout the next couple of days or so, through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then as you get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, showers are going to start appearing again. Showers and storms are going to start appearing again. Temperatures will also continue to be up in the 90s for you until you get to around the 80s and Sunday. On Sunday, Tuesday still sticking in the 80s as well. Now, in terms of your severe weather, in terms of your excessive rainfall, severe weather for you is not expected at this time. Again, severe weather is not expected for you at this time. And excessive rainfall for you also seems to be not, a factor for you either. So, you're good. Now, what about for Raleigh, North Carolina? You have low temperatures tonight at 57. High temperature for tomorrow at 73. And then low temperatures tomorrow night at 51. Slight chance of showers tonight, but tomorrow you're going to be nice and dry. No severe weather for you. No excessive rainfall for you. In fact, it seems like every location except Duncan has no risk of any sort of severe weather or excessive rainfall. But continuing with Raleigh, once tonight's over with, it seems like that you're good for the next 7 days. We'll see whatever pop-up event appears because, they just happen to pop up out of nowhere sometimes when they come through. And seems like right now, throughout the next 7 days, you're good for now. Tomorrow may be a little bit breezy, gusts as high as 21 miles per hour, and then temperatures are also going to continue to rise up. Watch as you get into Sunday, talking about 88, Monday 90, Tuesday 89. And then in terms of Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at around a good 56. High temperature for tomorrow at 67, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 50. Showers are expected tonight, and there is a chance of showers as you go into tomorrow. Now, tomorrow night, no precipitation is expected. For your future, it does look like that you do have rising temperatures as well. 82 on Saturday, 84 on Sunday, 91 next week on Tuesday. So it's going to continue to go up for you. And then the rest of the week, going into the weekend, looks pretty good. Wednesday, you have a 30% chance of showers there. And then finally, for Duncan, Oklahoma, you have low temperatures tonight at 64, high temperature for tomorrow at 91, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 70. Precipitation not expected at this time. And then in terms of your future, does look like that you do have a risk of thunderstorms. And you have that risk of severe weather as well. Friday, even though you don't have a chance of rain on Friday, which is just completely bonkers to me about how in the world the SPC and the National Weather Service are kind of off like that. But the thing is that you have the marginal risk of severe weather here on Friday, and then you have pretty much a 5% chance of damaging storms. So severe weather. The ingredients are there. Will the convection happen? All of that is all the question that we're asking right now. Will the convection happen? Because obviously, if you don't have any rainfall, you're not going to get any severe weather. Even though if you have the ingredients, that's fine and all. But if you don't have the convection, obviously you're not going to get any sort of severe weather. And then also next week Monday, you also are already under a slight risk of severe weather, meaning that you already have to be watching out for next week. But like I said, no rainfall all the way throughout until around Sunday night, and then next week it's going to be active. Temperatures are also going to continue to get warmer, 94 on Friday, but then it will be taking a sharp decline as you get into Saturday, Sunday, even going into next week, where we're talking about 70s on Wednesday. Now let's see what's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise. Well, gusty to high winds and low in relative humidity will bring elevated to critical fire weather conditions across large parts of the Great Plains and the more localized parts of the Great Basin in the Central Rockies Thursday into Friday. Severe thunderstorms with large hail, damaging wind gusts, all of that's possible over the Central Plains Thursday into this weekend. Also, like we were just talking about, air quality alerts down there, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, Austin, those areas have an air quality alert right now. And then we also will have some high winds as well over there in the northwest, Montana, northern North Dakota. And that's why we have some red flag warnings out there, because those winds are going to be high. And then you're also going to have those dry conditions. Some frost also going on in parts of Wisconsin and northeastern Minnesota. But overall, here on the east, we're looking pretty good. We did have a picture come in here from my Aunt Lula, who sent in this picture saying, wild turkey, this is one of the wild turkeys that frequently roam my yard sometimes. Let me make sure I cover up this information here so I don't accidentally give away your email. This is one of the wild turkeys that frequently roam my yard sometimes with their little ones also. Counted about 12 at a time. When it's warm, they come out to eat the bugs. Well, first off, thank you so much for this update. I'm trying to see in your background real quick. Cut that out right there. Do you see cloudy conditions over inside your background right now? So I guess this was from today. It says around 2 hours ago at 7 o'clock. So, again, thank you so much for this picture. And if you want to go in and send me a picture weather-related, you can by sending it to scweather360@gmail.com. Something weather, obviously something, atmosphere or astrology-related, anything in the weather sphere. Just go on and send it to me at scweather360@gmail.com, or you can send it to me at 360_weather. And that's pretty much all that I have to say here. And yes, Thad did get it tonight. I already see it. It was a 12. So, Thad, congratulations to you. A pretty easy one for tonight, if you were there for it. So yes, we are at a 12. Congratulations to you. You are the top fan of the night for tonight. If you want to be top fans of the night for tonight, you have to be a subscriber. You also have to be here paying attention. Paying attention. And you have to be here early. Because if you're not early, if I give out a crazy... I could ask a question about anything. Anything here is fair game. Anything I say, anything that I put up on the screen. It could be what was the low temperature for Orangeburg. It doesn't matter. Just anything is fair game. Anything is fair game at this point in time. So just make sure that you're paying attention always throughout the stream. So you can potentially win yourself like that did tonight. And there is also some honorable mentions. Obviously, my Lila being there. And then those are the only two that got up there, really. So congratulations to the two of y'all. And that's all I have to say here. So if you have not hit the like button yet, hit the subscribe button yet, go in and do so. We have around a good 733 subscribers trying to get to that main goal of 867 away. Also hit the subscribe button if you have not already. We've had 14 people tune in and only 6 likes. So if you're part of that group of 8 that have not hit the like button yet, go in and do so. It's free. It is absolutely free. It will always be free. That's all. I'll tune back in. Y'all tune back in tomorrow morning for your Thursday morning forecast update. Also, make sure that you tune in tomorrow evening, Thursday evening. Drought forecast is coming out tomorrow. I'm kind of interested to see what it has to say, and I think I already have my prediction ready, so I'll see what happens. But for right now, we'll leave that up to tomorrow. That's all. Hit those 2 buttons before you leave if you're new.